So tell me, are androids capable of experiencing fear?
Hey yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It is with extreme joy that I can present to you this next project that I've been working on. I've had to go through some things, work out some tweaks, play the game again to get the experience to be able to take it back to you guys and say, look, I finally did it. This is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Revamp. So this is a follow-up from my previous video which I released, which was called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for adults. So I'm taking those things and I built upon it to make it a more better or overall experience, taking us back to the 90s and early 2000s when Dragon Ball was on Toonami, making it more anime accurate, bringing back the original Bruce Faulkner background music, and just giving you a better overall experience. Gutting out the unnecessary and putting things in that should have been implemented that was rather abandoned from the developers, or we just never got, however you want to look at it. This is a complete overhaul, for the most part, of Kakarot. Now, first and foremost, the thing that is most loved about Kakarot is its story mode. And the story mode is accompanied with beautiful graphics. Even though the graphics was good and the PC didn't get the upgraded enhancement that the Xbox Series X got or the PS5 got, if you're in a high-end PC, that's one thing. But if you're on a low-end PC, there's ways to still enhance the graphics to make it top-notch. So one thing that I did do, because I love the story mode of Kakarot so much, was that I upgraded the graphics. So the first thing that I did was download, or will pay for it, and then download lossless scaling. Now, what lossless scaling did for me was it changed the 30 frames per second cutscenes to 60 frames per second cutscenes, and it made them look even more amazing. So I also played this on the PS5 and the frames were locked on 30 frames per second as well. I think all the way up until either the 5th or 6th DLC, and then they made them 60 frames per second with the upgraded graphics and this, that, and the other, but the PC didn't get that. So with lossless scaling, it upgrades it for a more cleaner, crisper look when it comes to cutscenes and gameplay, where the frames per second during gameplay is not only double, but sometimes tripled. So now that we have the visuals out of the way, one thing that they put in the game that I didn't understand was the charging auras. One, the color was not accurate and the style and design wasn't accurate at all. It kind of was like they was just covered in like this glob of upward power. I don't know what it really was, but it was very weird and it didn't make any sense to anyone. When you seen in the cutscenes, they literally had the accurate aura glow and formation around them. Why not just put that in the game instead? So that was something that we had to correct, not only in color, but also in design as well. So revamping that, or swapping it out, was one that was absolutely necessary. I can't tell you just how much more I felt like I was in a Dragon Ball universe or atmosphere by just swapping out this simple thing. So now we have the accurate anime aura that's around them as far as design and the color for when base and Super Saiyan transformation. So another thing that we had to change out was the flying speed. Now there's a mod that has it where you can fly 2 to 5 times faster. Now I definitely don't want to take away from the game that much, so I just put on basically double the speed of flying, so you can see I can get to my location twice as fast as I did before. I could have did 5 times as much, but that just seems like it's kind of overkill. Didn't really like that. So this is something I think would have been beneficial if you could have unlocked it after the game was completed. You've already done your exploration. You already looked basically through the entire map or the game at this point. So why not give them faster or a faster flying method to be able to reach whatever the location or destination is? This was something I thought that made the game less tedious as far as flying from Goku house all the way to Mr. Satan's house or whatever it is, or Gohan school. Like doing a regular flying mode, that would take like a long time. So with this one, man, it made it a lot easier and more enjoyable to play. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. This game is led by nostalgia. If there's anything that takes you back to that original Dragon Ball Z feel, it's going to be the Bruce Faulkner's background music. When he sets the tone, putting you in the right atmosphere, in the right setting for Dragon Ball. Check this out.
This is going even further! and 3.
Or this one.
Gohan! He's changed.
When I tell you the original background music brings this game to life, it restores it. I think that any gamer will honestly tell you that you can't have an intense fight with whack music. This solves that problem. Not that the original music was bad or anything, I just like the Bruce Faulkner soundtrack over any other. So on this one, I'm going to kill multiple birds with one stone. Basically, everything deals with battle in this one, and I call them screen distractions. One thing that I removed was when a battle first starts, that big word of battle that comes off. I'm not a kid, I'm not a child. I pretty much understand when the battle starts. And another thing was the borders that are around the fight, shockwave, or item selection, super attacks, or support, all in the left-hand corner. Like the borders that are around them are a bit much, right? Like it's just taking up screen that doesn't need to be there. And other things you'll notice are like hit points or combo counter, or when something happens in the right-hand corner where the combo meter is. It's many and multiple things that pop up in that area that I think are just screen fillers, right? They're screen distractions. We don't need those. They're not necessary. We're doing damage. No one's counting that. We're doing combos. We don't necessarily need to count that, right? We're looking at the health bar to see exactly how much health is going down and how much damage we're doing. And right above your health bar, sometimes the names can be too long with the levels, so I think that's a good idea to remove that as well. Just clean the screen up a bit much. When you finish someone off, we don't have that big finisher or end battle. Like all of that stuff is gone for a more mature, crisp look. So in addition to that, I've taken away the support characters' levels next to their icon where it just remains the icon itself. There's a much better look and appearance with just having that rather than have all that clutter on that side. So following up with that, I've also removed the text screen that comes up when it's like an AI or AI is healing someone or they've called for reinforcements. I've taken all of that away so that there isn't as much screen distraction and you can have a clean, smooth, crisp gameplay. And last but not least, I've also taken away the sun glare, which I've mentioned before in my previous video, auto rotation, and orbs. There's no orbs, there isn't any auto rotation. Wherever you set the camera is where it stays, and there's no annoying sun glare at the top of the screen anywhere, except for on certain cutscenes. For some reason, I think it was just locked into those where I couldn't really remove them, but nonetheless, it's still a cleaner play. Now, one of the other but annoying things was the training grounds and having to have a certain amount of orbs and D medals and this, that, and the other to unlock all of your skills. That has been completely wiped away, especially in DLC 6, because as I stated before in my review, I felt as though Goku should have already had these things unlocked, right? It's the end of all apart from GT Goku, so he should be at his best as far as abilities. So having that removed where it's literally one red orb to unlock any and everything, and you don't have to go to any more training grounds, you can just go ahead and unlock it as long as you have the level or story progression. That made the game a lot more simplified and easier to enjoy. Now for this one, I want to speak about customization. There's no reason that this game doesn't have any customization at all, and it offers a lot of different outfits and stages of the character. They just don't give them to us. So as completing the game, we should be able to select whatever outfits that we have, like Trunks with the long hair and the sword with the cut off sleeves, or Vegeta in his End of Z outfit, and Goku in his End of Z outfit. These are customizations that I've made to the game personally. Even though this is the main Z game, I'm not in DLC 6, I'm in the main game, and I'm able to have these outfits. There should be some type of selection option to be able to do so. Also with a variety of characters for everyone that we've had access to through all the DLCs and throughout the entire story mode, with alternate outfits as well. This game should be packed with them, but instead it's empty. So I took it upon myself to go ahead, throw a mod on that allows you to play with different characters and different outfits and this, that, and the other so that you can play the way that you want to. This was a must need for the entire game. And not to mention this in an insulting way or anything, but this is something that just should have been there. It adds so much more replay value, gives the player so much more freedom when it comes down to being able to put on whatever outfit you want to and free roam with whatever character you want to, which is actually where I want to go now. Now, I can't tell you how complete this game feels, giving you access to all playable characters. This is the only Dragon Ball game that I've ever played where there is 5 playable characters. As big as the roster is, we should have had way more characters to play with, and with this mod, it gives us access to that. People have favorite characters like Tien, Android 18, Yamcha, Chaozu, Kid Trunks, and so on, and we only have access to a few. So not only do we have access to the characters, but they also have a full list of combos as well. Not just the 1, 2, 3, 4 power hit, but it's a blend of Goku and Vegeta combos from Blue to Super Saiyan, this, that, and the other. And I think that the modder chose the ones that were best fitted for each character, and I think he did a really good job. They also have surge animations, which I think are really amazing. So they give you full access to these characters, not just a little bit. And they've even added on the Kaioken transformation or Kaioken transformation to Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. Now, I don't know how how Krillin would have got it because he never visited King Kai, but I never understood why the other guys didn't get it, seeing that they were stronger than Goku when they went, but he basically just taught it to him. And the Spirit Bomb, which is kind of weird. But there's just so much that this modder did with this mod. He even gave them animations or break animations, like when you break their guard and then you trigger a super move. Like Krillin has his Destructo Disc, Tien has his Tri-Beam attack, Yamcha has a Wolf Fang sort of kind of attack, but also his Spirit Bomb. And I mean, this just really changes the game for me way more than it did with any DLC that I've ever played. With this option being available, I always find myself going back to the Goten and Trunks World Tournament fight. That's one of my favorite fights to recreate. Or you can even go to End of Z. Let's just say Majin Buu messed up and Goku and Vegeta actually had their face-off in the tournament, right? There's so many options available to do or recreate whatever it is you want to. Oh, and I forgot, I didn't do any side quests. The story mode has missions that are going to send you on side quests, so I kind of felt like they were obsolete. I just wanted a more smoother gameplay through the entire story without interruption, and that's what I got. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're looking for a better Kakarot experience, something more to the original one, and bring back that nostalgia from back in the day when you first seen it on television, then these are the mods that you need. Shout out to the modders for what they've done. I have to give them all the credit. I do not do mods. I simply just use them and give credit where it is due. And I thank these guys because Kakarot is my favorite Dragon Ball Z game. And because of them, it allows me to continue to play the game and experience it the way that I want to. And just my final thought. I had so much pleasure playing this revamped version of Kakarot that I can't even explain it. So many things were missing, and it feels like all of those things were finally added to the game. If you want to see more content like this, in the comment section below, go ahead and drop it down there with any other thoughts or concerns that you guys may have. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. And with that being said, it's your boy, oh no, not another reviewer, and I'm out.
I finally know how to get rid of you. Once and for all.